There's a massive building crisis in Australia right now. The HIA is stating that we have a shortage of over 2 million homes. However, the government is saying that we need to build 1.2 million homes by the year 2029, and we're already expecting a shortfall of over 250,000 homes. So we're clearly not having the solutions right now, and it is pushing the building industry in the wrong direction. We are rushing, we're building faster, and the quality is dropping, and we keep repeating the same inefficiencies in our systems. It does not need to be this way, and it's definitely not the way forward. Did you know that the Romans already built double brick construction with single glazing, and somehow we are still doing this today, 2000 years later? And if you believe we can do better and you are looking for a solution, then this course is for you. In the 60-second quiz below, we give you a personal roadmap of how to design better and build better, from free introductional content right to the certification to Passivhaus Professional as a designer or tradesperson. There are many misconceptions about Passivhaus right now. It's too expensive, it's too difficult, and it's not suitable for the Australian climate. Let's tackle them head on. Is Passivhaus too expensive? No, it is not. In the 13 years that Passivhaus is already on the Australian market, we achieved square meter rates below $2,000 and regularly below $2,500. But the current market is a little bit different, so I would say we can still achieve it with less than $3,000 per square meter if we have the right team and the right mindset. Passivhaus is not expensive. The whole idea of Passivhaus was from the beginning to be cost effective, because the first Passivhaus ever built was actually social housing. So affordability was always the focus for it and not for the top premium market only. That was never the idea. It's happening in Australia a little bit, but it's really simple why that is happening, because we have not enough people that are able to actually deliver the work. So we don't have enough trained workforce, and we have a higher demand than we can deliver. So people can in the moment charge whatever they want to, and that's a little bit a problem. So let's go to the next misconception. Is Passivhaus too difficult and too complicated? No, actually not. Passivhaus simplifies your whole building because we're using passive measures, like the name already says it. We're using thermal insulation, air tightness, what is just a simple layer through the whole building, our thermal bridge-free design, and quality windows. These are all passive measures that are making the home perform better. And with this, we are able to achieve lower systems. So we don't need all these mechanical systems in the house as much. So air conditioning systems, we don't need as much any longer. Our domestic hot water system can be reduced. So all these conditioning and room controlling systems, we can reduce them in the quantity and the complexity, and that makes the homes actually easier. The design phase is definitely more advanced in a Passivhaus build, because we're making sure that we're actually designing what we're actually having on site. So we're making sure that the house performs as designed, and in the design phase we're finding out if it actually performs. Right now it's a little bit of lottery, and you then probably need honeycomb blinds to actually not get the house too hot, or bigger air conditioning systems because the whole building is overheating or getting too cold. With Passivhaus we don't have that because we already designed up front. Then the other one is Passivhaus suitable for the Australian climate. Yes, it is definitely suitable for the Australian climate. Think about the strongest growing market globally right now is Spain. And Spain has as well temperatures of 45 degrees easily in the summer in the cities. So we have as well the heat that we're having here. And as well, still Charlotte Pass in New South Wales, we have minus 22 degrees. So we have as well more the Northern European climates as well. So Australia has a similar climate to Europe. The only thing that is different is actually the humidity. So the more tropical in Queensland, that is definitely different. However, we can handle that as well. We have already the experience that that works. So how can we handle that, and why does it actually work anywhere in the world? Because we have designed a clear outcome with our buildings. We want to make sure that our buildings perform properly anywhere in the world and have the same outcome. So in other words, 20 to 25 degrees, relative humidity from 30 to 60%, and a proper air quality in the home. This is what Passivhaus defines as the outcome. This is what the standard is giving us. And then it is telling us we are allowed to use this amount of energy to achieve it. In other words, our 15 kilowatt hours. And this is now the energy that we are allowed to use to achieve this outcome. So the only way to achieve this is the variable that is our building methods and our thickness of our build-ups. In other words, if it's a really harsh climate, like minus 22 degrees, our walls get really thick. If it's a mild climate, where the temperature is rather from 0 degrees to 35, 40 degrees, then we have a really narrow build-up. That's as simple as it is, and that's the reason why Passivhaus works everywhere in the world in an economical way, because we are changing the building method depending on our location and our circumstances of our build. We just want to have always the same outcome, and that's what Passivhaus is giving us. In the case this sounds now interesting, just do the quiz below, and then we see where you're at. If you want to get certified, if you're just at the beginning and just heard about it, and we're putting you in the right direction, and then you can start most likely immediately or speak to one of our team members. So see you on the other side. Bye-bye.